In today's video, I want to talk about something that's been picking up steam lately, the 4 Fatui Harbingers who are going to show up in Nod Krai, and how this ties into some massive new updates about version 6.0, the anniversary rewards, changes to how story content is delivered, and even what kind of future we might be looking at for Genshin overall. Whether you're a longtime player or just getting into the game, this upcoming chapter could really reshape how Genshin feels as a story-driven RPG. We've got a lot to unpack today, so let's start with the big one. Nod Krai's main story will span across 9 versions, including the prologue in 6.0. That means we're looking at a full arc from 6.0 to 6.8, just like how Natlan spans from 5.0 to 5.8. So while it's not longer than Natlan, what stands out is how much Hoyoverse is willing to stretch a region's arc when it's tied to deeper themes and major players like the Fatui. It seems like they're continuing the Fontaine trend of going deeper into the lore and making the story more emotionally and politically layered. And with that kind of time frame, there's plenty of room to explore complex character dynamics, especially with multiple Harbingers involved. Now, speaking of the Fatui, we're going to see 4 Harbingers involved in the Nod Krai storyline. 3 of them are already known: Columbina, Sandrone, and Dottore. And according to recent info, Columbina and Sandrone are expected to appear as NPCs already in version 6.0, which means the Fatui presence will be established right from the start of the prologue. That's pretty unusual. In past regions, it usually took a few patches before a Harbinger showed up. The identity of the 4th Harbinger is still unknown, and that leaves a lot of room for speculation. So who could take that 4th spot? Maybe Arlecchino, if her story isn't completely wrapped up after Fontaine. There's also a small chance it could be Piero, since we are getting closer to Snezhnaya, and he's the first of the Fatui. But even if it's someone entirely new, the fact that 4 Harbingers are active in the same region says a lot. Nod Krai isn't just a backdrop for the traveler's journey. It's becoming a war front in the Fatui's larger schemes. And if 2 Harbingers are showing up in 6.0 alone, the pacing of the story could feel way more intense than any region before. Up until now, we've only seen a maximum of 2 Harbingers in the same region. Think of Chilled and Alrecchino in Liyue and Inazuma. But 4? That's huge. It tells me that Nod Krai isn't just another stepping stone before we get to Snezhnaya. It's probably the heart of the Fatui's deeper agenda. And given that Columbina is getting such special treatment, I wouldn't be surprised if her role is way more central than we expected. And when I say special treatment, I mean it. Columbina is going to have her own standalone story quest, which is a bit of a twist because, get this, most character quests in Nod Krai will actually be merged into the Archon quest itself. That's a pretty major change from how Genshin usually structures its story. We're used to having side quests that give us personal insights into each new 5-star. But now it looks like Hoyoverse wants to deliver those character moments directly within the main storyline. That might make the Archon quest denser and more cohesive overall, but it also means we'll have fewer optional stories to check out. And again, Columbina is the only exception to this rule, which raises the question, why her? Well, we kind of have an answer. Along with her own story quest, Columbina is getting a dedicated marketing push. We're talking about a CM short video, a 3D animated short, and even a standalone character animation short. That's not standard even for Archons. So clearly, Columbina isn't just a mysterious character anymore. She's being positioned as an emotional or thematic anchor for this entire arc. Maybe her connection to the Sinner or her rumored ties to Celestia are going to play out here. Now, let's talk about rewards for a second, because we've got some promising but still vague info on that front. The anniversary celebration in version 6.0 will feature rewards and bonuses on par with, or even better than, what Natlan offered. Now, that sounds good on paper, but we have to ask, is that enough? If you look at Hoyoverse's other games like Honkai Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin really doesn't look that generous. Star Rail is giving out 4 5-star characters in 2024 alone. 1 standard, Ruin Mei or Luona, Archer and I think March 7th's new form. Ziz's gave out at least 2 S ranks, including a selector that lets players pick who they want. Compare that to Genshin's usual anniversary gift of 10 intertwined fates, a pair of wings, and maybe 1,600 Primogems, and yeah, you start to see the gap. But here's the thing. This time, there's also mention of system optimizations coming during the 6.0 anniversary, which could mean improvements to daily commissions, resin usage, or artifact management. Again, it's vague for now, but it sounds like they're using this anniversary to not just throw some rewards at us, but also improve how the game feels to play. That's something players have been begging for years. And if Hoyoverse finally listens, it could change the long-term experience of the game in a big way. Now, circling back to the storyline itself, it's not just about new characters. The leaks mention that the main story will feature several already playable characters, not just Nod Krai units. That's exciting to me because one thing I've always wanted more of is seeing existing characters return to the spotlight. Tying them back into the overarching narrative makes the world feel more connected. And just to take a step back here, when you combine everything, the extended 9-version story arc, the 4 Harbingers, the shift in how quests are delivered, the specific focus on Columbina, the boosted anniversary promises, and potential system upgrades, you start to see that Nod Krai isn't just another region. This could be the turning point that sets the stage for the final chapters of Genshin's main story. It's already feeling darker and more political than anything we've had before, and with so many high-level players moving behind the scenes, Fatui, Celestia, old playable characters, there's a lot of opportunity to raise the stakes both emotionally and narratively. So what do you think? Who do you think the 4th Harbinger will be? Do you think Columbina is going to be the emotional core of Nod Krai, or is there another twist coming? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you want more updates like this as soon as they drop, or if you enjoy these deeper dives into story and character developments, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.